Hello all and welcome. And I am the Realist Philosopher, and this video is to introduce you to my new channel and to tell you a little bit about what my goals are. So, I am a philosopher. What that means is I seek truth. I use philosophy for what it was meant to be used for, to better understand reality and identify truth. And that's what philosophy really is. It's a tool of the mind to better understand reality. Now, the way it's taught today, it's pretty useless, right? What you see in universities today is not real philosophy. It's ideology masquerading as philosophy. It's people who have an ideological bent going into academia for the express purpose of using their classroom, using their position as a professor to deliver an ideology to the students. A ready-made, created program of sorts, insert, person processes the program and then regurgitates it whenever in a specific situation, right? So in that sense, it's very much like the new NPC meme that's been floating around the internet, if you're familiar with it, essentially portraying leftists and people who are ideologically indoctrinated as non-player characters in a game who essentially have a very limited ability to respond to stimuli because all they have is a program confronted with a very specific situation. This is the proper response, no thought required. And ideologies can be very attractive to people. You know, it removes the necessity for thought. You know, you're put into a specific situation, whatever that given situation might be, the ideology has an answer, okay? Oftentimes, not always, of course. That's why sometimes, do not compute. Throw out ad hominems, insults, attack the person who is presenting me with facts that are in no way, shape, or form addressed within my ideology type response. That's why you sometimes get those types of responses, violence and, negativity. But by and large, the ideology supplies you with some type of response or a cognitive dissonance so that you can ignore the contradictions within it. And that's basically what most philosophy courses in universities do. They teach ideology. They give you a framework of beliefs that makes you reliant upon those beliefs. You don't learn to think for yourself. They don't teach you logic, reason, critical thinking skills, how to use deductive, inductive, reductive reasoning, analogous. There's so many different types of reasoning. They don't teach you how to identify logical fallacies. So many things that you do not learn. So the way philosophy is used now is to manipulate people and to use ideology to do that. And you'll see this even in classes within universities that do not teach philosophy, math, political science, whatever the subject might be. The professors oftentimes use that class as a vehicle to deliver a specific narrative. I think it's something like 12 to 1. University professors are liberal as opposed to conservative. So, for every one conservative professor or non-liberal professor, you're going to have like 12 that are liberal or Democrat. They seem to go hand in hand these days. So my purpose is to combat collectivism. My purpose is to combat ideology and ideologues. My purpose is to combat the from on high philosopher king giving the divine information, giving his lessons from an authority figure to the masses who collectively obey and listen and eat up his words as if it was truth. I am very much against arguments from authority. I am very much against ideology. I am very much against leftism and collectivism. And so that's my main purpose for starting this channel. In addition, it's also to teach you about real philosophy. Real lessons learned from real philosophy that will aid you in your everyday lives. And I'm not just going to give you information. I'm not just going to fish for you so you're reliant on me. That's what these university professors do. That's what authority figures do. They do your thinking for you. All right? They do the thinking for you and deliver it in a nice, well-designed framework, as well-designed as it can be with all the fallacies and contradictions. That's why a lot of cognitive dissonance has to be introduced into the mix so that, you don't have the ability to think logically or critically and see these contradictions. But my goal is to help you learn these skills. I will teach you to fish so that after a time, you will learn enough to think for yourself. Do for yourself. You won't need me so much anymore. Although I hope that you'll still continue to watch after a certain point just because you enjoy the content. As for myself, I've been studying philosophy for more than 3 decades. I spent tens of thousands of hours studying the subject, studying reality, learning about objective reality and how it works. And it is a broad, robust subject. Philosophy itself it's not the most simple thing to learn. And unfortunately, most people, while almost all of us do have a philosophy of sorts, it's not a very well developed one. And again, it seems like the goals of academia and the government and the media are to keep your philosophical skills as stunted and narrowly defined as possible. And they're going to choose just how their application is defined. And that's quite on purpose, because somebody with a well-developed philosophical mind will see right through their bullshit and will not be able to be manipulated. So, my purpose is to combat the left, to teach you real, practical philosophy, and to help you become an awake, aware, enlightened human being who will be happy and live your life to the maximum and fulfill your potential. So, I hope to see you in the future and deliver many an interesting lesson in an educational and an entertaining way. So I'm the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you well. Take care.